to the night where we light up the spark. We're trading crypto, find out till we mad on the charts. Hosted by the one, Lunar Beaches top shark. Dive deep into the numbers cause this ain't no lark. We're crunching all the data, making money moves fast. From Wall Street to the blockchain, making predictions last. Community together in this financial blast. Markets after dollar shatter ceilings made of glass. Mad on the charts with rulers by lights. Crypto markets soaring through the night. Follow the trends, see future in sight. It's markets after dark, the financial flight. From Bitcoin to Ethereum, we're mapping the road. Stock tips and insights, secrets ready to unload. Trading strategies, sharp on knowledge be showed. Let Lunar Beaches guide.
Good evening, everybody. What's going on? Welcome to Markets After Dark, where we go mad on the charts. How is everyone doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you had an amazing weekend. Hope you had a radical weekend. I had a very nice weekend with friends and family. Very busy this weekend, but hey, had a great weekend. That's all that matters. Watched the UFC pay-per-view last night. Pretty great card. There's lots of good fights last night. So yeah, had a good time. How's everybody doing? Hope you all are prepared for what could be about to come. Who knows? Who knows what's about to come? I have a crazy degen trade running on Ohm. That is pretty degen. For those that don't know, Ohm seems like it got rug pulled today. Not really sure what that's all about. Haven't looked into it yet, so but we can take a look at that chart. But it is Macro Monday, so first of all, like I said, welcome to Markets After Dark, where we go mad on the charts right here on the Piper Academy Network, Sunday through Thursday, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Time might be changing soon. We'll see. Hopefully, I will be able to start getting in an hour earlier. We'll see. We shall see. A little bit of news for me is I'm trying a prop firm. I don't recommend it for anybody that hasn't been trading for a while. It is kind of difficult so far, but it's CryptoFace's prop firm. So I'm just testing it out, see what I can do with it, and maybe it'll be pretty cool. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So that's a little bit of news for me. Outside of that, nothing really. Just watching Bitcoin potentially about to go ham or about to crash again. Are we getting a fake out or are we going to continue higher? I think if we're going to continue higher, it needs to happen sooner rather than later. But what's going to cause it? What is going to cause the bullish catalyst? That is the question. But one thing that got the bulls moving this weekend was news came out of the White House that Trump exempted chips, laptops, phones, and I guess other electronics. What is the number one sector that's been propping up the markets? Tech. So what did crypto do off of this news? It pumped. It pumped. We'll see if it'll be able to sustain itself. That is the ultimate question. All right, guys, before we get into the charts, you know what I got to do? I got to bring up the beautiful Madhouse. What is going on, everybody? How are you all doing? Leviosa. What's going on? Let's give a Shout out to everybody. Jesse, good luck. I think he's just popped in to say, hey, hope you're doing well, Jesse. We'll see you when we see you. Mike Volmer, good evening. Good evening. Alexandra G, the mod queen in the house. What's going on? Sending a $5 super sticker saying hype. Thank you, Alexandra G, for your generosity. We do appreciate the mod queen. It would have gone together in a better flow. All right. Army Piper's in the house. What's going on, Piper? Hope you're doing well, sir. Hope you had an amazing weekend. I need some Leviosa on this price. Yeah, I hear you. I have a crazy degen trade going on OM, so that was Piper. 92% dump on a top 20 project surely is going to pump. Maybe. Maybe. French Toaster. Hola, French Toaster. What's going on, my guy? Hope you're doing well. Dylan VA, good evening. Good evening. RS Miller, what's going on? RMT Retro Mike Tech, what's up, brother? Semiconductors are only exempted until the end of May. End of next month, tariffs gonna hit hard. Well, there you go. There you go. Here comes RMT just pouring water on the fire, you know? That's just time. Pack it up. Time to go home. You say that, but who knows? Who knows? Trump changes his mind on a dime, so we'll see. He's very reactive, just like how, you know, he kind of lifted or put a pause on those tariffs when the bond market started tanking. So just saying, maybe some things are out there that could cause him to maybe change that exemption. Who knows? Who knows? And we're going to get into this. Mr. Bitcoin holding this level, holding this SMA. Got to close above it. And we'll just have to see. We'll have to see. Right now, to me, that means we're still bullish. We're still macro bullish until we get a close below. We'll see. It could just be short-term bullish, like we've been saying, but still bullish nonetheless. I think we have a nice bullish week ahead. Go ahead and just come on over here to the economic calendar. We can see that this week doesn't really produce a bunch of high impact data. We have on Wednesday, we have retail sales month over month, and on Thursday, we have building permits, preliminaries, and housing starts. So not really a jam-packed week when it comes to news, export prices. I mean, this isn't really high impact stuff in here. API crude oil stock change, Fed Cook speech, a lot of Fed speak this week. So maybe we need to key in to what the Fed is talking about. We do have kind of the GDP growth rate year over year. Who knows if those numbers are ever accurate? Retail sales, industrial production, manufacturing production, but they're light impact for some reason. Fed Chair Powell is speaking Wednesday. So could be something there. Balance of trade for Japan on Wednesday. Bank of Japan, Nakagawa speech. And building permits, housing starts, bunch of housing stuff. Jobless claims 4-week average. Initial jobless claims. So some jobless claims coming in on Thursday. Those might be market movers. This is all at 7:30 or 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not really a whole lot. But RS Miller does say that we have a full moon. So what is this? We'll see. We'll see. So not really too much on the news front. So I think it'll be more unexpected news, like potentially like tariff drops or lifts or pauses or any kind of tariff news, I think will be what pushes or pulls the market one way or the other. But right now we're looking at Bitcoin. We did get a close. We did come down and test that 52-week SMA. What is that SMA? The 52-week SMA. We did get a close above that with a bullish engulfing candle engulfing the previous candle open to close, the candle body. So that in and of itself does lean more bullish, plus the bounce off of the 52-week SMA. Let's pull a fib from high to low. Did get a break above the 0.236. Closed above that, so that is good. We want to see some bullish continuation this week, getting above that 89,000. Let's just go ahead and put a horizontal ray on here so we can see. Above the $88,804 mark. No, it's not the 50. It's not the 50. 52. 52, Piper. So yeah, getting above here, getting a weekly close above that $88,804, I think would be, would give us reason to be a little bit more bullish. Coming down to the daily chart, let's go ahead and get rid of the fib. Been watching this downwards trend for quite some time, obviously. Now this is pretty exciting. Now we do have a couple of, outliers here where we did break above. I'm just taking in as many highs as possible. Then we have gotten above and closed above on the daily 2 days in a row now. Sunday, of course, we got a nice pullback all the way back down above the Friday high close. Got pulled back into that, and then did pop up a little bit. We let me see. There we go. So got down into that lower wick, pushed up, and now we are trying to continue to push higher. So on Monday, I want to watch the previous day high and low. Actually, let me go ahead and remove these drawings, and let's bring up my spaceman levels. Okay, spaceman levels. Previous week high, previous day high. So we put in last week's high today, earlier today. And then, last week's low is down here at $74,432. So we see on the daily chart, big bullish engulfing. Got the pullback, bullish engulfing of this one. Continuation, engulfed this high over here, pullback, and now we should continue higher. This is a daily breaker block that we pulled back into, holding the midpoint of that daily breaker. So that's looking good for more bullish continuation. Upside targets, we could be looking for the yearly open and a previous quarter midpoint and the previous month high. So that is what I'll be looking for upside, potential upside targets. Also, if we go ahead and throw on a fixed range volume profile here, we do have a value area high just above both of those. So if this thing can start getting going, we're sitting at the point of control of this range from high to low, and we have gotten above it, closed above it, came down to that value area low, closed right on top of it, and pushed right off of it. So looking good right here on our volume profile. Now this is going to be an area that we would really need to get through. Of course, that's where that high is over here, and that's where I want to see us end the week, is a close above that high. So obviously this is going to be a resistance zone for the week. With the Mondays, things like to get a little bit tricky, so we could come up into that resistance. Of course, we see the giant wick here that we could come up into, reject from, come back down, sweep the monthly open and the quarterly open and the previous day low before we then continue to the upside. Now, this is several days into the future, so not going to be what I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to be looking for the Monday high to get put in, whatever that's going to be, come down, sweep the Monday low, and then come back up and push through. Something like this is what I'd be looking for if Monday doesn't just go ahead and give us the move. We shall see. I don't typically trade on Mondays. Mondays kind of sets you up for the rest of the week. So I like to wait for Monday unless Monday does come out, sweeps the previous weekly high, and puts in some kind of market structure shift on the lower time frames. Then I will look for a internal, like a low time frame scalp for a pullback, potentially back down to the point of control, and whatever kind of liquidity pools get formed in here. So I do see right here on the previous daily low, we do have some equal lows over here, and we did come out over the weekend and push down. We were in a pretty bearish sell order flow. However, we've broken above these highs, and I've kind of tried to start a bullish order flow. Now I'd look for that 3 drives higher, 1, 2, and then 3, potentially sweep that previous week high, then look for the break in market structure, and then short down to that previous daily low. Well, don't know where I went. There we go. Okay, so that's that point of control. We do have those previous daily lows. Now, whichever one of these gets swept first is the one I'm probably going to play off of. So if this decides to break down and come down here and then put in a market structure shift, then that's what I would be looking for before we move to the upside. If not, if it decides to come up here first, then I'll look for the market structure shift up here and then the push back down to these lows. We don't have to take the lows. We could continue higher and then consolidate on the top and then push even higher, with the potential of a wick down to sweep the internal lows and then push higher. But the main thing is going to be getting above here, consolidating at the highs and not breaking back into the range being here. Okay. Come back into the range, creating fair value gap, order blocks, a big wick, and then off and away we go to the downside. But overall, in general, I am high time frame bullish, probably up to at least this $97,000 level. Yep, I said it, $97,000. Now from there, it's going to be key. Let's go ahead and pull fib right there. That level is right in between, right at the golden pocket of this, from this high to this low. Right there is the golden pocket. That's also a massive consolidation range in there. So that will be our resistance level that we have to be careful with, because that could be a simple retracement where Bitcoin comes up to it, rejects it, and then rolls on over, because macro conditions are still kind of shite. We really don't know what to expect at any given moment. So, but right now, things are looking good. We came down to the 52-week SMA. We can see the last time we came down and touched it, that was the bottom. And then we pushed to the upside. Now let's bring up our Prime Oscillator Pro Plus. Shout out to Chart Prime. Check out Chart Prime, link in the description down below. Get 45% off your first month. And also, you also get tons of hours of trading classes, a Discord, and just a whole range of things with a Chart Prime subscription. So go ahead and check out that Chart Prime. Holy balls, baldy. First of all, I got a full head of hair, okay? I had to cut off a full head of hair, all right? And I have a German forehead, so 5 head. That's how it goes, all right? What's going on, Kelly? What's going on, Javi? Hope you're all doing well. Good evening, good evening. All set in the house. What's up, what's up? Rib chat, what's up, Harp? Hope you all are doing well this evening. Hope you had a great weekend. And Flash Smack. Oh, Flash Smack. We going to the moon, Flash Smack? Is that what we're doing? All right. So, checking out the Chart Prime Oscillator Pro Plus. Let's go ahead and take off the SMA. And let's take a look at this. One thing that I did notice was kind of putting in a hidden bullish divergence in here. I'd almost confirm that. Now, the indicator itself hasn't confirmed it, but this is a hidden bullish divergence. Now, with hidden bullish divergences, that is when your momentum oscillator, so the one on the bottom, puts in a low and then puts in a lower low. Okay. There's your lower low. And above that, you have price moving to the upside, puts in a low, moves to the upside, puts in a higher low. That's a hidden bullish divergence, because it's showing that even though the momentum is hitting to the downside, price is still holding up. And that's a good indication that price is strong, even though the momentum isn't quite there. But if the momentum starts to pick up and price is strong, then you should get a move to the upside. Now, we still want to be cautious of this 92. I'm just going to go ahead and call it 91.5. Want to be cautious of this level just because it was previous support that could turn into resistance. So getting back above that level and back into this upper range is going to be key. If we can get back into that upper range, then we'll be looking good. Otherwise, we come up to it, we reject it, we come back up, bearish retest, and then continue to the downside. And I think that's very possible. Very, very possible. So, Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the Dixie. The Dixie fell below 100 points. Can you believe it? Absolutely. Let's go to Capcom. There we go. The Dixie fell below 100 points, sitting here at 99.359, so not looking Not looking great. However, it is trying to potentially find a bottom, or it could continue to push lower. Now, I think it did take out this macro low, so could just sweep that and then move to the upside. However, things don't look so good for the dollar across the board. Now, that is supposed to correlate or inverse correlate with Bitcoin and risk on assets, but we are not seeing the correlation hit just yet, or that inverse correlation. So rumors that the mantra team rug pulled OM, maybe it will bounce. So the team rug pulled it, but why? Why now? Why now? That's the question for me. So the dollar continues to drop. The Aussie dollar continues to move up. The euro continues to move up. So this will all go against the dollar. I see more room on the euro to the upside. This looks like the British pound is trying to come up to the upside. We do have equal highs up here. So I still think that that's going to be a magnet. Why can't I search for things? Come on. Not like this. Like this. Magnet. These equal lows are a magnet for price, or equal highs rather. Have some more over here as well. So yeah, that British pound could continue to the upside. Let's take a look at the Canadian dollar. We see this pushing down. Now this is the USD versus the Canadian dollar, which means Canadian dollar is actually gaining against the US dollar. So if we actually flip this, invert the scale, this is what it really looks like. It's actually pushing positively against the US dollar. And this is a weekly time frame. So, yep. And it's sitting right here at a potential resistance area in here. So let's pull a trend line on this. There we go. So that Canadian dollar needs to break down or break above this level here. I say break down because remember we are inverted. If this breaks down, that shows weakness in the dollar or strength in the Canadian dollar. Risk on assets should benefit from that. Same with the Japanese yen. Need that to come down and start sweeping some highs. That only pushes the dollar lower, which is, again, bullish for risk on assets. Go ahead and take a look at the total crypto. What's going on, Wick 589? Kelly, what's going on, Kelly? Hope you're doing well. Harry Potter gang, look at that. Who's winning right now? We've got Star Wars winning 55%. How many votes? 20 votes? Not bad. Harry Potter, 25%. Avengers, 15%. Hunger Games, 5%. All right. Wait, how do I close this? I did not mean to. Thank you. There we go. Where was I? Okay, so take a look at the 52-week SMA on here. Now, we did get a weekly close below that, but my 52-week SMA is mostly for Bitcoin. But we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Let's put this on and let's take a look at some historical So we did close, can have multiple closes above it, back here, and those called bottoms. Closing below it here called the bear market, essentially. Closing below it here, we had the big COVID crash. Close above here, had the nice midsummer push. Close below here, you get the back test rejection, pretty much called the bear market. Come back over here, break above, bullish the entire way to the upside. So getting that close below has typically meant bearish. However, this looks like the first time where it got a close below and then immediately came back up and closed above. Now, this is our total crypto market, so we do want to see this continue to the upside, because that would mean very good for all of our cryptos. We got a bullish reversal here on the weekly chart. We got the True 7 bottoming out. We've got the Trend Fusion bottoming out. We've got the money flow pretty low in the red, and our power bar is overheating. Now our power bar overheated right over here. It ended its overheating right in here. So what happened after that? After it ended its overheating right at that 52-week SMA, it pumped to the upside. That's what it did. So if we just extrapolate from the end of the power bar, we push higher, and we just take that level and we just see where could that get us up to. 4.69 trillion, 4.64 trillion dollar market cap. Let's pull a fib. That gets us up to the 1.618. So that actually makes that would actually make a lot of sense. So we broke the fib, we pulled back to the 786, and then we push up to the 1.618. Definitely possible for us to see that happen. Now going back over to Bitcoin, pulling the fib high to low. I really need to do the magnet. There we go. Okay, good enough. So it's already come up to the 1.618. And it came down to the 52 week, got a bounce. The next level is that 2.618 at 155,000. Now, if I just take from this high to this low, rather this high to this low, this gets us up to a more realistic $130,000. Bars pattern from where we bottomed to here, or from the start of the move, that gets us right up to that 1.618. Top side 147 if it was to do an exact same type of move. We'll see, but it does get us right back up to that $130,000. Now again, we want to be cautious right here at the golden pocket, because that is where our max resistance level is. But if we can break through, I think that means we will probably continue to the upside. Now, total 2, the altcoin market. It's been looking absolutely terrible. Now, the SMA doesn't really play as much on this one, but we'll just go ahead and remove it. We can see that getting a little bit of a bullish divergence in here. So we're kind of flat on our trend fusion. Our bearish power bar had its pretty much gotten into oversold. Our true 7 has bottomed out. We've come below our oversold zone. So if it's going to start picking up, it needs to do it like this week and next week. And that's kind of across the board. Now, if we look at our USDT dominance, we want to see this one break its trend, because if this can start breaking down, then that would indicate that stable coins are leaving and going into assets. We do have some equal lows down here that we want to watch. I mean, this is kind of across the board here. So this is where we know the liquidity is. Break down, come up. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's it came up to here. That's where we closed. Came right up to it, got rejected. So if we can start seeing this start to break down, then that would be good news. Big breakdown here. Just need that to continue going. This big breakdown here, that's on Wednesday. So on the hourly, I think it was yesterday when the announcement was made. It's probably this big move here when the announcement was made about those certain electronics and stuff being exempt from tariffs came into effect. So you got that big push down on our USDT dominance, which does help push or signal that the money is flowing out of stables and into our risk on assets. We are green across the board. Our total is up 1.25%. Our total 2 is up 1.46%. Our total 3 is up 1.24%. And our total DeFi is up 1.60%. Go ahead and take a look at our ES futures, our SPY futures, see what we're looking at here. See how we are opening the week over here on the SPY. Let's go down to the 5-minute. We did get a little bit of a gap up to start the week. Yep, a little bit of a gap up, start the week. Came down, touched these highs, and then just kind of chopping about, really. It's not really indecisive so far. It has come up to sweep some equal highs in here and is currently getting a rejection. So we'll see if those can hold or we'll see if this gets a push down to fill the rest of this gap. Let's go to the daily and check out this gap. Okay, so we did get kind of an immediate rebalance where the wick comes down straight into the Friday wick, although we did not come down to the open. So the gap is from close to open. There's our gap. I'm just going to go ahead and pull that across. We go to the 15. So this is the gap that needs to be filled. And it could come down here and sweep the lows. We do have some internal equal lows over here that could be taken before it sees a move to the upside. But right now, just kind of sideways for the S&P. The NASDAQ, but it is still up 0.84% to start the day. We'll just have to see in the morning where it is sitting at, but I wish it would get rid of these sessions. How do I get rid of the sessions? Lines, labels, sessions. I'm on electronic, right? Yep. scales canvas. Don't want my sessions. Bar change, title, logo, titles, values, background. Nope. Events, continuous contract switch, session breaks. Nope. Canvas, sessions, status and lines, no, currency, scale modes, days of week on labels, previous day close, indicators and financials, post market, ILO, bid ask. I don't see anything. Status line, open market status, title, chart values, bar changes. Nope. Oh well. Oh well. So yeah. All right, let's go ahead and zoom out on this. Let's go to the 4 hour. Let's turn on regular trading hours. That'll help get rid of the sessions. Remove 7 drawings. Go to the daily. All right, let's turn on our Market Oracle Pro Plus by Chart Prime. Oof. Still in the deep red here on our highlighted candles, static highlighted candles. We have put in a take profit 1 and a 2 on the daily chart, but we do have that dynamic reactor sitting above us. So we need to see the ES get above that dynamic reactor and really above this high, and then get a pullback, OC retest before we can continue to the upside and take out these equal highs. Now, it could be one of those situations where we kind of put in a little bit of a inverse head and shoulders. We've got that dynamic reactor coming across, could act as resistance, but what I like to notice is do we consolidate at the dynamic reactor and then push, or do we just flat out reject it like we did here? I like to see consolidation at the dynamic reactor before a move higher. Now, this is on the daily, but anyways. Go to the weekly. Tapped that weekly dynamic reactor. We are under a sell signal, but the dynamic reactor is still green on the weekly chart. So, not the end of the world quite yet. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end. Came down, smacked that 0.5. Got a bounce right there also at the dynamic reactor. Important to note on the weekly chart that we did just flip bearish these last 2 weeks. Our money flow flipped below the 0 line. Our true 7 came down, smacked the oversold line, and is starting off not too bad. We do have an oversold signal here, and we will be looking to see if we can get a violent push back to the upside. And I feel fine. NASDAQ, tech sector. What is this? Why is this? First of all, this doesn't even make sense. What are we doing here? What is this? Doesn't make sense. Okay. Anywho, same deal. Came down, hit that dynamic reactor, looking good. Pull a fib. Bottom to top. Smacked that 0.5. Dynamic reactor right above. We just push up when we look for that upper range to act as resistance if we can get back up into it. Dow Jones going to be the same story, smack down right at the 0.5, push up, and see if it can continue pushing against, start pushing back, turning back to the upside. Our bonds, let's take a look at the 2-year. We're at 3.92.7. Actually, 2 and 10-year spread. Let's take a look. We are down to 0.53. So that's good, because just last week, Wednesday or Thursday, we were at 0.66, which is almost guaranteed recession. Now, that doesn't mean we can't still see a recession coming up later this year, or relatively soon, maybe starting in the summer. But for now, it looks like we are trying to avoid it. Trying to avoid it as much as possible, but we need this one. Let's go ahead and turn off the market oracle. And we need this US 10 to start coming back to the downside. That'd be nice. That'd be very nice. This moving to the downside, 2-year moving to the upside maybe, or at least holding. But we definitely want to see the US 10-year start to move to the downside, because that means institutions, foreign investors, foreign governments, what have you, are buying up U.S. bonds, U.S. treasuries, which is what we need. Let's take a look at gold. I've been wanting to, or we can zoom it on out. Let's go to the 3-day. So gold has gone parabolic. We are in the 5th and final wave, I believe, of the gold parabolic move. So the question is going to be, once gold tops out, will that be time for Bitcoin to go? Now, I do want to do this. Let's go do the weekly chart. Let's go ahead and pull a bars pattern. We're going to go from October 31st, 2022 until now. We're going to copy that. We're going to go over to our Bitcoin chart. October 2022. We're going to paste, set that up. Come over here. October 31st, 2022. Bring this over to current time, which is right here. There we go. So this is on October 31st, and this is current time. So this is what gold has done in the time period that Bitcoin, in the same time period as Bitcoin, okay? So let me go ahead and throw a vertical line from the start, vertical line to where we are now. And now we can see how closely these two have been running together. Now, when we first bottomed out, they both kind of relatively bottomed out around the same time. Bitcoin actually, or gold rather, actually bottomed out prior to Bitcoin bottoming out. Bitcoin literally bottomed out the very next week, and the gold chart got a head start. So gold started pushing ahead of Bitcoin. Bitcoin followed suit. Then gold got a push back. Bitcoin went sideways. Then they both pumped up at the same time in March. So there must have been some kind of news events March 2023 that we might have got. I don't think we got a Fed rate cut in 23. Not quite sure what happened exactly on this time, at this time. But we can see that they both consolidated. Bitcoin consolidated sideways as gold consolidated more sideways and down. And then they both pretty much bottomed out around the same time. Got moving, both got moving, and they both started to see some topping last year. Now Bitcoin had an extended top or an extended correction, whereas gold was very short-lived. You got the breakout, pullback, and then breakout. And Bitcoin didn't break out until much later. About right. So let's see. Gold breaks out, pulls back. It was on gold's pullback that Bitcoin bottomed out. Gold got rushing. Bitcoin kind of lagged, kind of got moving. And then right when gold topped and pushed back, that's when Bitcoin went moving to the upside. So that kind of signals to me that gold profit take led to Bitcoin pump. So working off of that, could we potentially see gold profit take and Bitcoin pump? It is potential. That is potentially the case. And we see that Bitcoin has been consolidating to the downside, while gold has just basically been going parabolic. So as gold goes parabolic, Bitcoin takes a back seat, and then potentially we could see this nice channel break as gold pushes to the downside, break, pull back, and then push up. As gold is retracing, Bitcoin pushes up, and then gold hits retracement levels and resistance. Bitcoin hits resistance, and then they both push to the downside. So just kind of thought that was interesting. We see a clear divergence here between gold and Bitcoin. So, but we also saw a divergence here between gold and Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin didn't get that big push up until the same time that gold started pushing to the downside and then going sideways. So if you kind of look at gold kind of like you do Bitcoin to altcoins typically run as Bitcoin is going sideways. And let's see, gold going sideways, Bitcoin is going sideways. Sideways, broke out first, pull back, kind of consolidate, push up, Bitcoin breaks down. I don't know. So, looking to see if gold will get a push down, and if that will lead to Bitcoin pushing to the upside. We shall see. Go ahead and take a look at this OMUSDT. We'll take a look at the Binance chart. So this happened today. Now, zoomed out, it doesn't look that bad. Zoomed in, I say it doesn't look that bad, but zoomed in, I mean, we can see, all right, so we're on the weekly chart. So what did we come down to? We came down to a fair value gap. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. See if there's anything a little cleaner in here. We do have a monthly fair value gap that we did not clear all the way, so that's good. Came down. I mean, Piper might be doing a pretty decent degen play here. Let's go down to the daily chart. So this is why everybody thinks, okay, rug, team rugged. Because, I mean, this happened within just like 2-hour time span. This is a 2-hour candle. And in this 2 hours, we saw a total of a 93.5% drop. You take in the 2 hours prior to that, so 4 hours, it's a total of pretty much 94%. If we go from the absolute top of this, there we go, 95.97% move. Absolutely insane. However, this is pretty basic. This is pretty basic. We got equal lows. We've got fair value gap, monthly fair value gap. We've got engineered liquidity pushing to the upside. We got the stair step, push up, and then come down, take out all the lows. A pretty classic setup. Usually you don't see it on this high of a time frame where you get a big massive liquidation like this, and that quickly. That typically indicates some kind of rug pull. So I don't know anything about the project OM, but I do know that this does not look good. I think there was something else on Bitcoin that I wanted to go over. Oh yeah, market oracle. All right, so we are still sitting below that dynamic reactor. That's what I wanted to look at. On the daily chart, we're still sitting below the dynamic reactor on a daily, but if we come down to the 4 hour, we have broken above the dynamic reactor, and the dynamic reactor has turned green as soon as it pulls up. There we go. And we do have a strong bull signal. Now, that doesn't guarantee that we're going to continue to the upside, because as you can see, we got a strong bull signal over here, and our dynamic reactor was green. So we just set we set a a long trade, put a stop loss just below the low, and then you get stopped out. That's just how it goes. But over time, you just play these right. You don't want to jump in unless that dynamic reactor turns green and you are above it. So we wouldn't have even taken that trade, so that's good. Right here, same deal. Would not have even taken the trade. And then right here, we are doing more kind of consolidation above it. You can see we are holding highs in here. That's good. Holding these highs. And we'll see if we can get some bullish continuation coming out of Bitcoin. Go to the weekly. I know that dynamic reactor is sitting way down here. Yep. Way down here at about $59,000. So keeping an eye on that. Last time we tapped it, it was kind of giving us the signal that we are definitely bearish. Of course, we had already broken below our 52-week SMA, got a bounce off of the dynamic reactor back up to that 52-week SMA, and then rolled over. So keeping an eye on that. We have not lost that 52-week SMA, and for all we know, we could be seeing something similar to this coming in over here. So yeah, LBC, what's humiliation chart show? I mean heat map. I don't understand what that means, humiliation chart. I got chopped up over the weekend. That's usually how it goes. Best time to trade is during the week. We see. Why does this not go? Go night night. Anyways, there we go. All right, this is on the 3-day. We do have a bunch of liquidity sitting down here just above $80,000, in between 80 and 82. Could be liquidity that we could come down and try to grab. We do have these equal lows in here that I am watching on the Bitcoin price, so I kind of expect us to come down before we do push back to the upside. Let's go to the weekly heat map. Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bong, bong. Ooh, lots of liquidity down here, sitting at the just below the $75,000 mark. And that's those equal lows down there that we're watching. Also, some high time frame equal lows. We'll see. Let's pull it all the way back to the 6-month. That's in the way. Oh, whoops. There we go. I think I might be in the way too. There we go. Hello, lad. Would you like to load for me, please? My problem is if I miss my entry on impatient and try to do a late entry and get chopped up, I gotta stop doing that. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Gotta stop. So 6-month chart doesn't really show a whole lot. Doesn't really give us a whole lot of information. We do have a bunch of liquidity up here at the $100,000 mark. We'll see. I think we all got chopped up. If you traded this weekend, maybe you did. So yeah, 1 month, not much. Go to the 1 day. See how we're looking at on the daily. Yeah, lots of heat right below that, right below those equal lows. I don't know that if we'll get there, but I'm still looking for. I want to see. I'd rather us come take and sweep the lows before we push up to the highs, because otherwise it could be a sweep of the highs before we come down for the lows. That's pretty much what I would prefer. Let's bring this up. So those equal, all those lows down in here, this is what I'm looking at. We do have these equal lows. I mean, these are pretty much pinpoint equal lows, not relatively equal, but exactly equal. So watching that range, pulling up the ICT kill zones, we can see that those two equal lows did come down and sweep yesterday's New York session. I don't know if we count that because it is a weekend. But we do have previous week sessions. Let's take the that would be the Saturday Asia session. So not sure that we would take that, but we'll definitely be looking at our previous week highs, previous week lows as our areas of interest. So like I was showing at the beginning of the stream, previous week, previous month midpoint is also up here. And we also have previous day and previous week highs sitting up here as well. But we do have that previous daily low where we have the equal lows. So definitely watching both sides here. Okay. That's what I'm going to be looking for. But we can see that this move, we came down, we rated liquidity. We come up to sweep the equal highs, and typically that means we're going to come back down, take the lows, and then we rip back to the upside. Because the market makers like to take as much liquidity as possible, and you need a move to the downside before you can get a move to the upside. And this little move to the downside may not have been enough, especially when you're putting in all these lows down here. We know that there's liquidity there, so why would the market maker not want to come down and take that liquidity? Now looking at the Asia range, let's go down to the 5-minute. We can see that we did put in some relatively equal highs up here. So Asia likes to play games. Asia likes to play games. But we pretty much got accumulation in here during the Asia session, or Asia kill zone rather. We'll see if we can break below, maybe get a retest of that New York open, midnight open, and then push to the downside. So, yep. But in general, guys, I'm leaning bullish for the week. Just want to see how we start things off first. So we'll come back tomorrow for TA Tuesday and go over what happened, what occurred. Black Monday a week late? Nope. We'll go over what occurred during the Monday session. Sorry if that was loud. And see what we did. Hopefully we'll go ahead and take out those lows, and before we move to the upside. And if we can do that, come down, sweep the lows. The previous weekly low, I don't know. I don't think we want to go down and sweep that. I don't think that'd be good news. But we do have the previous week midpoint sitting at about $80,200. So we come down, test that, and get a bounce, I wouldn't be mad about it. Wouldn't be mad about it at all. But we shall see. We shall see. For now, I'm not trading Monday unless I see a clear setup. But yeah. I hope you all had an amazing weekend. I had a great weekend. I'm ready to have a great week. I think we should all kill it this week. It should be no major economic data releases, so it should be a fairly calmer, depending on what Trump decides to tweet or truth out. It should be a calmer week than last week was, for sure, and the last couple of weeks have been, where the volatility has been absolutely insane. Speaking of that, we'll take a look at that real quick. Let's go ahead and take a look at the VIX. And we have dropped below 40. All right. So we did get a peak on April 7th, last Monday, of about 60. Yeah, we got a peak of 60 on our... Get rid of all this stuff because this is completely unnecessary for the VIX. We did get a peak on our VIX, kind of trending more to the downside, so the volatility is kind of subsiding a little bit, and but hopefully it will continue kind of push to the downside. I say hopefully, but I kind of like volatility, because the volatility is what helps us as intraday traders. So that's how you get the moves. That's how you get the moves, is the volatility. But yeah. So, well, guys, I do hope that you all have an amazing Monday. We'll catch you tomorrow for TA Tuesday, right back here on the Piper Academy Network at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to check out Good Morning Crypto with BC Port Corp at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. At 10 a.m., we'll have the Morning Market Report with the Army Piper and the OC guy. And then we'll have OC guy's Trade Academy show, whatever his trading show, at 8 Eastern. I do believe 8, yeah. 9 Eastern. It's at 9 Eastern Standard Time, I do believe. But if you just click that notification bell, you'll be notified for whenever we go live. That'll make it a lot easier to get to learn the schedule. Don't forget to join the Discord. Link is in the description. Don't forget, oh, guys, winner of the poll was, of course, the all-amazing, wonderful, out of 30 votes too, Star Wars. My absolute favorite, as you all know. Of course, I don't care what anybody says. I'm about Disney owning it, whatever. What is Star Wars is woke? Shut up. I don't care. I don't care. I still love it. Stop trying to ruin my childhood. You're the ones trying to ruin my childhood, okay? All right, but anyways, I love all of those sagas. That's why I put them down, and I actually probably put them down in an order that I agree with, ironically. Star Wars, Harry Potter, Avengers, and Hunger Games, and all of those orders. I was really debating the fourth one. I didn't really know what to put. I was going to put the Batman, but I mean, there's so many Batmans. The Avengers movies, that's a pretty solid saga. And like known, like beginning, end, you know, you got Infinity. Now we've got the whole new saga when it comes to the Avengers, but people know what that means. But anyways, yeah, anyways. All right, guys. That's gonna be it. That's gonna be it. Be careful tomorrow. I hope you all have a wonderful Monday. Trade safe. Use good risk management, and pray for me and my trading evaluation for this prop firm. We're gonna try to get it. All right, we're gonna try to get it. But yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow. And I do hope that you all have an amazing, beautiful, wonderful, radical sleep. I'll see you later. Don't forget that like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. That's it. God bless. Be safe. Mad love. Peace out. Good night. Bye.
Welcome to the night where we light up the spark. We're trading crypto, finance, you'll be mad on the charts. Hosted by the one, Lunar Beaches top shark. Dive deep into the numbers cause this ain't no lark. We're crunching all the data, making money moves fast. From Wall Street to the blockchain, making predictions last. Community together in this financial blast. Markets after dark, shatter ceilings made of glass. Mad on the charts with Lunar's bright lights. Crypto markets soaring through the night. Follow the trends, see future in sight. It's markets after dark, the financial flight. From Bitcoin to Ethereum, we're mapping the road. Stock tips and insights, secrets ready to unload. Trading strategies, sharp on knowledge be showed. Let Lunar Beaches guide you to the mother lode. Economic loops and the way the dollar flows. Community vibes where everybody grows. Analyzing trends while the world lays low. Markets after dark were only brilliant shows. Hit that subscribe and join the ride. In the world of finance where fortunes collide. Lunar's path will be your guide. Through the market storm or the market tide. Charts with Lunar's bright light. Crypto markets soaring through the night. From Bitcoin markets soaring fast. Markets after dark, shatter ceilings made of glass. Mad on the charts with Lunar's bright light. Crypto markets soaring through the night. Follow the trends, see the future in sight. It's markets after dark, the financial flight. From Bitcoin to Ethereum, we're mapping the road. Stock tips and insights, secrets ready to unload. Trading strategies, sharp on knowledge be showed. Let Lunar Beaches guide you to the motherland.